Let's just start off by getting into a comfortable posture. So I like to call it a dignified posture. So you might want to sit up a bit, our feet flat on the ground, our legs uncrossed, and connecting, closing the eyes now if you wish, or lowering the gaze to the floor and softening the gaze. And taking a moment to just connect with this full body experience. So sensing into the body. A nice way to connect with the body is connecting with the contact points. So this could be the feet on the floor and noticing what the contact feels like with the ground or your shoes. And also the contact with the legs and the seating bones against the chair. Perhaps noticing the pressure under the legs and under the seating bones. And getting this sense of grounding in the legs. And if you're holding any unnecessary tension in the legs, just seeing if you can let that go as best you can. And perhaps also now getting a sense of the uplift in the spine. Again, as best you can. And just subtly adjusting your posture to come into this dignified but relaxed pose, ensuring that you're comfortable in your chair. And feeling the weight of the hands and the arms, perhaps the hands in the lap and the arms as they dangle by the sides. And if you notice the mind is busy and wandering off, just knowing that's what minds do. You're not doing something wrong. And perhaps as you notice this mind wandering, you can notice with interest and friendliness. And knowing as soon as you become aware of the thoughts, then you have this choice. You can choose to engage in the thought, or you can choose to come back to the body, connecting with this full body experience and the sensations in the body. And as we continue to explore and connect with the body, again, perhaps just noticing any unnecessary holding that you might have in the body right now. And this could be in the jaw, the neck, the shoulders, the arms, the belly, the legs. So again, seeing if we can just use an interested and curious attention as we explore any unnecessary holding in the body. And again, just gently seeing if you can let go of the tension. And if you can't let go of the tension, seeing if you can just let it be. Can you be okay with the tension? And let's just take a moment to narrow the focus further again helping us to connect with our present moment experience, because it's only in the present moment that we can savor our experience. So if it's comfortable for you, narrowing your focus now, connecting with the physical sensations and the movement of the breath in the body. So this could be the cool air on the inhale, warm on the exhale. And the subtle rise and fall of the breath in the chest or the belly. If it's not comfortable to focus on the breath, perhaps you have a cold or hay fever, perhaps choosing another place in the body where you can connect easily, like the feet on the floor, connecting with the sensations there. Connecting with the present moment by connecting with the physical sensations of the breath or the feet on the floor. And again, if you have a busy mind, noticing it wandering off, so be it. Again, you're not doing anything wrong. This is the nature of the mind. We can notice this with interest. And then knowing we have that choice to come back to our anchor with kindness and interest again and again. And now inviting you to let go of the focus on the breath. And we'll start to open up to our senses in this moment. So inviting you to start opening up to the sensation of touch right now. So in particular, bringing our awareness to sensations on the skin. So this could be a cool breeze at the top of the head or the face or the hands where our skin is exposed. Just as best you can, tuning in to any tingles, sensations on your exposed skin. Perhaps you feel where the hands make contact with the legs. What do you notice? How does that feel? Maybe noticing if sensations are pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. And perhaps you don't feel much at all, and just again knowing you're not doing anything wrong, just noticing what that's like not to have much sensation. Now opening up further, not just to our exposed skin, but opening up to other sensations on the surface of the skin. So perhaps the feeling of your clothing on your arms or your shoulders. Maybe perhaps noticing where clothing feels tighter or looser on the body. Again, perhaps those contact points, the pressure of the chair under the legs, connecting with that sensation. Or the contact points with the ground. Noticing how perhaps by moment the sensations change. Your attention moves. And again, noticing in particular any pleasant experiences you can feel on the skin. And leaning towards these, exploring these further. And again, if the mind is busy and wandering off, just noticing this with a friendly, curious attention. It's no big deal. And then coming back and tuning in to the sensations of touch, to the sensations on the skin. Now inviting you to take a deeper inhale and exhale, staying connected with how this breath feels in the body. And inviting you to open your awareness up to sound now. So this could be internal sounds like breathing or swallowing, sounds within the room like my voice or the humming of your laptop, sounds outside the room and outside the building, and we're tuning into the quality of the sounds. So rather than labeling or thinking about the sounds, tuning into the pitch, the tone, the volume, the qualities of the sounds, just as best you can. Noticing how some sounds are constant, whereas others arise out of the silence and disappear back into the silence. And again, perhaps noticing pleasant, unpleasant, and neutral sounds. Perhaps you're drawn towards some sounds, you have a dislike for others. Noticing these reactions. And if the mind has wandered off in thought again, it's no big deal. Just noticing where the mind's gone with interest. And then slowly, kindly coming back and focusing the attention on sounds. Again, let's take a deeper inhale and exhale, connecting with those physical sensations of the breath. As we transition now to taste, and we can do that by just bringing our awareness into our mouth and noticing if we can sense any flavors in the mouth. So perhaps you had a coffee before the session, or perhaps it's been a while since you've eaten and there's no real strong flavors. So just tuning into the mouth now, exploring what you notice there with curiosity and interest. Perhaps also noticing if the mouth is dry or moist, fresh or stale, warm or cold. And for a moment now, inviting you to imagine that you are holding a piece of the most delicious, juicy, sweet orange. So just imagining this piece of orange in your hand. Imagining that you're smelling this piece of orange. The sweetest, juiciest orange. The most pleasant smell, and savouring that smell as best you can, imagining it. And noticing what happens in the mouth as you think about this juicy piece of orange, and perhaps imagining now placing this orange in the mouth and chewing a burst of sweetness, zestiness. Again, savouring, chewing. You may even imagine you're chewing, savouring, chewing this piece of orange. You can still smell this orange, noticing what's happening in the mouth as you chew this orange, and swallowing this piece of orange. And noticing how the mouth is now after this brief visualization. And again, let's take a breath in, a deeper breath in, connecting with the physical sensations of the breath, exhaling, and coming to our sense of smell again. So we imagine smelling an orange, and now inviting you to take in the smells in your environment. What do you notice? What can you smell in your environment? Again, perhaps nothing strong is coming to mind. Just taking a moment to sense and smell. What do you notice? Could be the smell of food. Could be the smell of tea. Again, noticing if the smells are fresh or stale, pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. And now inviting you again to take this deep inhale and exhale. Again, connecting with those physical sensations of the breath. And in a moment we are going to, not right now, but in a moment I'm going to invite you to open your eyes, but we'll still be in the meditation, we'll still be in the practice. And I'll be inviting you to open your eyes and to look around the room as if it's the first time you've ever seen it. So really exploring the room, taking in the sights with this curious and interested awareness in your environment. So when you're ready now, I'm going to ring my bell and you can open your eyes in your own time, and then just exploring your room with interest and curiosity. So in case you didn't hear it, I've just rung the bell. So now opening your eyes and using your sense of sight, looking around the room, noticing reactions. Are areas of the room more pleasant to take in than others? And noticing any thoughts that are triggered as you look at certain parts of the room. And when you're ready now, coming back to the screen, inviting you with the eyes open just to connect with the feet on the floor again. So again, coming into this felt full body experience. Again, this is the state where we can really savor our experience when we're connected to our senses, when we're connected to our bodies. So this is the end of the practice. I'm going to bring Natasha back now as well. And really interested to hear anything that you notice that you'd like to share from this practice. You can share in the chat box. So we explored really our senses, and by connecting with our senses, this is how we can really savor our present moment experience. So feel free to share in the chat box if you wish. There's never any pressure to share though. And we will move over to the next practice in a moment with Natasha. Natasha, do you have anything you want to say about that practice? Oh, you're on mute still, Natasha.
When we involve all our senses, and I think it's just making the body more alive, more more connected. So yeah, for me it was just, as always, quite pleasant. Lou says that it was relaxing. It's interesting, and as I said before, I think it's a good practice for people to realize how important in meditation is to open up, as important as to concentrate. So we're just having both. Oh, Hannah has a comment. So that was lovely. Thanks, Bernie. I think involving all the senses makes you appreciate things more, and that we have all these senses. I appreciate my sight so much when I open my eyes. So do you want to comment on this? And I can, of course, I can talk about that as well.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. This is it. And again, we take so much for granted, don't we, in life? So appreciation and gratitude are one of those practices in mindfulness where we can again turn towards the good that we have in our lives, the positives, because as Natasha mentioned at the start, the brain has a negativity bias, so we automatically wire in threats and challenges quicker than those positive experiences. So by just taking time to appreciate and connect with our senses, that's a powerful way to redress that balance. Thank you for sharing, Natasha. Hannah, sorry. Christine, yeah, wanting an actual orange. Me
Exactly.
too. Yeah.
You know how advertisement works now, yeah?
Yes.
It just wakes up your senses. Yeah, me too, Lou. Yeah.
Connecting with the senses. Yeah, absolutely. So